So, my good people, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Last night's AEW and CMLL merger. Wow. From start to finish. And solid show. Now, there was so many people on that card. The multiple tag matches that they had and everything. I'm not even going to attempt to say everybody's name, okay? Let me just say, the event itself, solid, man. So solid. Ricochet and Leo Rush and Hologram. I forgot who else it was there. You had the 4 million pesos match, which Hologram won. I think Hologram is still undefeated as well in AEW. Man, he's doing his thing. MJF, that was just a solid match, man. See, there's something that there's just things people. One thing that's missing. Let me say this. There's one thing that's missing with a lot of people. Okay, it's called common sense. And people just have such a narrow, very naive, very childish way of thinking. Okay, they just don't understand what they're watching. It's as simple as someone watching a movie that was made, or a song. Like, I watched someone do a reaction video to Michael Jackson's Thriller, and the person is going, well, the one thing, was the first time I saw the video, but now the song makes sense. The song made sense without a fucking video. like, goddamn, did you not listen to what he saw? It's obvious. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, it's just such common sense. But now that you see the video, you get the visual. It's like, wow. So you're telling me you listened to Thriller and didn't know what the fuck Mike was talking about? You watch a horror movie, you don't know what you're watching? Someone has to tell you 20, 30, 50 years later what the movie was about. Unless the movie was written without a story, this is an actual story. Now, they credit the video for being great, but it's like, now the song makes sense. Wow. Okay. All right, let's move on. So, last night, this type of show, you're not going to get a bunch of backstage promos. You're not going to get a whole lot of extra segments, because it's not necessary because of the amount of people that were in the matches. You think that would be common sense to people. They had a 7-way match, a 14-person tag match. They had a 4-way. They had the Don I think that was the one with the Don Callis family involved. You had the Death Riders and Beast Mortos. You had going against Swerve and Will and the team that they had. It's like people that I'm not gonna focus on WWE fans, because they're the ones that ask these stupid ass questions. I just gotta be real. How come they didn't show any backstage segments? How come there were no bro? If you watch the show and have to ask those stupid ass questions? Well, once again, you guys complain about what WWE is doing, but you still watch AEW with the WWE mindset. So the format in your head is like, what would WWE do? Okay. It was a solid show. MJF showed his ass last night, man. Now, that's how you tap out and the ref don't see it. The ref is distracted, not looking, not standing right next to you, and you tap out like a split second after the move is put on you. And then the ref, I didn't see anything. It was so, that's how you do a tap out without, and the ref don't see it. Okay? So clearly, MJF tapped out. The ref is distracted. His back is to him, and Bobby Lashley, these guys are trying to interfere, trying to get his attention. But he ends up getting the win. Okay? But these guys come out for the save. Kevin Knight, Bandito, man, that match, it was a very exciting night of wrestling. And let me tell you something. The crowd was in it from start to finish. I've watched a lot of CMLL, and that's the loudest I've ever heard that crowd. Every match, they were just into it. They were getting into it, starting their own chants and all this stuff without the wrestlers having to like hype them up. They just on their own. The energy was right. Sellout crowd, and they you can say they really enjoyed the show, man. And everybody did what they were supposed to do. Mercedes Monè, what can I say? Once again, won another title. People can hate all they want, man, but she wouldn't be allowed to do what she's doing in the WWE. And she's out here just making history. She's out here having fun, just living her life, enjoying her life. I don't understand. I really don't care that people are so filled with stupidity. But man, that she's doing her damn thing, man. I don't care what promotion she was in. I'd be saying the same exact thing. But hey, man, she just happened to be in AEW, and she's knocking out the park, man. And you know what I love about the match? That woman she wrestled was considerably bigger than Mercedes Monè. So you know what happened? It wasn't a 50-50, I can match you strength for strength, blow for blow. No, Mercedes had to outsmart her. She had to use her quickness and just her wrestling ability, her skill set. She had to, that's what I mean about wrestling psychology. Whereas you have someone the size of Nia Jax, man, she shouldn't be having these 50-50 back and forth matches with little fucking Tiffany Stratton and all these little, even a Jade Cargill. Why? Because even though Jade Cargill is muscular, right? She really don't play the part. Like, you knew the Ultimate Warrior was strong. He could military press motherfuckers like he military press Hulk Hogan, okay, who was at least 300 pounds, close to it. Okay, I've seen, what's that Italian guy? I forgot his name. He came from WCW. That motherfucker had military press Rikishi. So what I'm saying, you got people that they are Goldberg, putting the jackhammer on the Big Show. You know, Scott Steiner giving the Big Show a belly-to-back suplex. Chris Benoit giving the Big Show a belly-to-back suplex. You know, Ahmed Johnson body slamming, legitimately body slamming Yokozuna. Like, Jade Cargill isn't that. Bianca Belair isn't that. Jordan Grace isn't that. They're just muscular. Now, I'm not saying they don't have some type of strength. Yeah, we know. We saw Bianca Belair pick up Otis on her back and walk him around the ring. Yeah, I'm not saying they don't have some type of strength. I'm saying they're not as strong as their characters would like. Like, in other words, look at Jade Cargill. Remember, for example, when Nia Jax told Bianca Belair, you're jealous of Jade. She's bigger than you. She's stronger than you. She's better than you, right? The only real test of strength that you see Jade and these other wrestlers show that's supposed, like even Ivy now, she's muscular, but there's always somebody smaller than them, or they're, as far as Ivy and Jordan, I'm not talking about so much height because they're just super short. But I mean, it's not like they're doing these moves to people much bigger than them. So when Nia Jax had to literally jump up in the air because, like, before they even touch them, she's jumping, and they slight pause, they can barely do their moves, their finishing moves. Then, like, for example, guys that are really strong, what happens as they get older? They start to add a different move. Remember how the Ultimate Warrior started pinning people with the shoulder block instead of the gorilla press slam? Okay, because what happens? Hey, man, sometimes they tweak their back. Once you start to get a back injury, a lot of times back injuries never go away. Certain things that they stop doing. They can't, or they get to the point where they can't do those things. We used to see John Cena. How many times we've seen him, give someone his finishing move? The Big Show, including the Big Show. Brock Lesnar, doing what he's doing. It's just one of those things, man. Then you get older, like a lot of they can't do those things anymore. Jade and all of these people, it's not their age. It's just, they just can't, they're not as strong as their characters pretend them to be. And it's like, if you can't camouflage it, man, we're not supposed to see these people jumping up in the air. It's like when somebody get clotheslined up the ring and a person that's getting ready to take the bump jump way before they even, and like that type of shit. That's how it is when they try to hit their finishers, right? So imagine, even though Mercedes Monè's character isn't supposed to be like she's overwhelmingly strong, It's like, imagine little Mercedes Monè just beating this woman blow for blow. Like it just, and this is what I'm saying. Especially when it comes to heels. One of the scariest feelings that you have for the face is when they get that 2.5, that 2.99 count. And Mercedes is like a master at that shit, man. But she's the heel. But once again, she wins clean, fair and square, man. And she's won another title. And she's wearing the title she won from the Bret Hart Foundation Cup proud. That's why I said before, I don't understand why Hangman gave that shit back. It's like, come on, man, what kind of shit is that? It's your accomplishment. You don't give the King of the Ring crown back, even though it doesn't mean much of shit. It's just a gimmick that people don't even take serious anymore. Really don't take it serious. Just they'll mention it for certain people. 2-time King of the Ring winner, Royal Rumble winner. Isn't okay, right? But yeah. Anyways, she's wearing that belt proudly, man. And like that's my thing, man. It's like, look. Anyway, the show, it rocked, man. And Mercedes winning, not just winning, but winning another title and going into All In with another belt. Come on, man. that was momentum like a motherfucker for you. That's some momentum for your ass. And think about it. If she beats Toni Storm, man, that's gonna be 6 belts. Are you shitting me, man? It's gonna be 6 belts. And I don't like to compare because every company does what they do. But for all you WWE retards that hate AEW, you cannot compare Worlds Collide to last night's AEW CMLL merger when and Worlds Collide was a pay-per-view, right? Whatever it was. Because I watched the shit on Peacock. I think it was Peacock or whatever the fuck I watched it on. It might have been YouTube. What the fuck? But whatever. I watched the whole shit. It was on whatever the fuck I watched it on. That shit was all about, like I said, people doing little spots. But wrestling wise, now I will say Vikingo and what's his the little Kurt Angle little motherfucker. Forget it, you know what I'm talking about. But anyway, they had a serious match. But for the most part, the matches themselves was nothing really special going on. Dominic Mysterio coming out, attacking the guy, telling him, "I'll see you tonight at Money in the Bank," and it was really nothing that happened that felt special about the show. And I guarantee you, the majority of people don't give a fuck about AAA. You know how I know? Because I hear all these fucking content creators and all the multiple people in the comment sections talking about, who gives a fuck about these little luchador shit? I don't care about that. I guarantee you, it's a different appeal with the AEW fans, with what they saw last night with CMLL, that they want to see more wrestlers from CMLL, because last night was like a great night. And it just felt right. And Adam Page, you can see, I'm telling you, man, with everything going on in society right now, all the racism, all the hatred, all the like real life bullshit, Swerve and Adam Page is going to get to a point where those motherfuckers are going to put their differences aside and wind up helping each other. Don't be shocked if down the line they end up becoming a very powerful tag team. And they'll have a story, a real story to their tag relationship of how they couldn't stand each other, and all of a sudden now they're like the best of friends or something. They put their differences aside. I feel like the world needs that real reality for that to happen. And do you see that happening in real life for real? Yeah. Some people do get over their prejudices, and not many, but some people realize they've been an asshole all their life, and they'll change that about themselves. And I see, this is what I mean about their type of, like AEW's type of storytelling. And then too, what I like is when Okada fought against Mark Briscoe. They did a little quick video package promo of him talking about going up against Okada, who's one of the best, and how him and Kenny Omega then fought against each other. They tagged against each other, and talk about the beatdown that Okada put on Kenny Omega and caused him to not be there last night. And see, I like that kind of shit. See, there's no reason for a backstage segment. There's no reason to take a whole bunch of time. This is all happening while he's coming out to the ring, and they put the little picture-in-picture screen, and he's explaining. That's what I'm saying. That's what you have to do sometimes. That's storytelling as well. It's no just one way to tell a story, and you understand what's happening. AEW fans understand what's happening in AEW. It's you WWE fans who are just like stuck on stupid because it's not, TV7 enough for you. Y'all can't deal with like grown-up shit. But yeah, and I like how they now you see what happened last night is the type of shit that I was talking about. If AEW and the NWA was to do this, especially being that NWA has a rich history with TBS. You understand what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. If something like that was to happen, and it would be for a whole different reason than the CMLL situation. But bottom line, you had all these people on there, Samoa Joe. I mean, everybody was there. They had so many people on there. They had to make some changes. But I'm going to tell you something, man. I saw something else too. I don't know if you guys saw this, and I'm not going to jump conclusions because a lot of times people do things on purpose just to get your attention, and it might not be anything to it. But I saw an article, and two things I'm going to touch on real quick. I saw an article. One article said there was going to be some changes that was going to be made to the All-In card. And I'm like, okay, we know about 3 matches for sure. So we don't even know what the other matches are going to be. But whatever the plans are, I saw a picture and Gail Kim's face was on there as a replacement for someone. I don't know who. But Gail Kim is highly respected. And I'm like, if that would be true, I don't think it's true. And I'm going to tell you why I don't think. Now, it could be, but I'm going to tell you why I don't think it's true. Because I didn't hear it from any AEW sources. Plus, two, if you're going to have somebody as a mystery opponent, could you imagine people want to know who this mystery opponent is, and all of a sudden, fucking Gail Kim comes out? So, I didn't hear it from AEW, and why post it if you're not going to talk about it? You know what I mean? So, all right. But I saw that. The other thing is, I told you guys a couple weeks ago, I said, have you guys noticed that Britt Baker, that AEW has never removed her little video clip from the All-In presentation? And when somebody's no longer in your company, you don't keep promoting them. Britt Baker is still under contract with AEW. How many times have we seen videos? Even the Stevie Richards and 83 Week Show, all these people have made mentions of it. How about Britt Baker going to WWE as if it's just inevitable? Like, that could be the case. It may or may not be. I don't know. But she's still under contract with AEW. So this is things that we've been seeing for a while, and like months and months ago. And the only stories I heard about Britt Baker was that she was hard to work with, and a lot of people didn't like her backstage and all this type of shit. But I don't want to get into it as far as talking about a dirt sheet. I'm saying we don't know what's true and what's not. But it's confirmed that no, she has no dealings with the WWE. She's bottom line, and she's still under contract. So the WWE has no business even really talking to her at this point. But yeah, I just wanted to say that, man, because you always see, I feel like when these people say this, it's like they want this to happen. And it's like, again, you WWE fans love to gaslight shit about AEW stars coming to WWE. Yeah, AEW sucks so much, but y'all love talking about who's coming to WWE and getting so excited, and WWE themselves love getting their hands on former AEW stars. But you're always trying to make it seem like, oh, all these people coming from WWE to AEW, as if it's not the other way around. Look around. Look at their roster. Look at how many people come from AEW. But that's wrestling. Okay. Man, salute to Mercedes Monè, though, man. I mean, I just did a video about her, and here she comes, and she shines once again. You see, Mercedes knows how to win. and she's using her experience with her skills, and she's winning matches, like I said, fair and square. She really gets you interested in what she's doing. This is something that's been missing, like the psychology of wrestling, man. And this is why I said, man, if like, you have to learn how to use people, man, like in a bet, like to make their characters believable as possible. It's not like, like Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, Jordynne Grace. None of them as strong as Chyna was. They're not even nearly as big as Chyna was. But they're trying to use them like they are. Jordynne Grace, I'm not saying she doesn't have. I mean, look, Jordynne Grace is more like bodybuilder, just like Ivy Nile. What that means is this: bodybuilders aren't the strongest guys. They may look stronger than they are. A lot of them, a lot of them, they don't really lift heavyweights. You think they do, but they're not as strong as you think they are. Jordynne Grace, yeah, I'm not saying she's not strong, but I'm saying no, she's nowhere near as strong as Chyna. None of them are. None of them are. Okay, and the thing with Jordan is she's tiny, man. Ivy now, tiny. Just like Alexa Bliss and Roxanne Perez, only they're muscular. What is Bianca Belair? Maybe a good 150? Maybe 155? Something like that. Jade Cargill, same thing. Maybe 160. They're not big people. So, you know what I'm saying? When you put them in these matches, they need to shine. Like, you can't be super strong, but you're struggling to beat Naomi. You did a couple of moves where you power out, like lift her up and slam, but like there's nothing about your skill set where you look like this powerhouse. You just have a muscular body. I watched that match last night and I had so many thoughts when I was watching it. I'm like, see, she gets it, man. Mercedes isn't the fucking smallest female there, body weight or height wise, but she goes in there and she wins. Smart. She puts it all together well. She knows how to reverse moves in the air. She reverse moves on the mat like she's the total package. And this is the type of thing that I'm saying, man. I looked at that woman's size to Mercedes. I said, damn, she's way. But the way the match went, okay, there you go. That's what I'm talking about. Man, just watching what I seen last night was solid, man. And Jon Moxley is looking strong going into this pay-per-view because he got the pin on Swerve. There was a distraction, of course, yeah, but he got the pin. That's all that mattered. I think Hangman's going to do it. They're investing a lot of time in the Hangman, building him up. He's become he was already a star, man, a superstar, but they really reinvested in him and got him in a different position where. Because remember, the fans started hating that guy. Like, he became the ultimate heel over there, man. And then through time, the ups and downs or whatever, things in your personal life and trying to go, find out what direction you want to go creatively within the company and things like that. Well, look at where he is. And this is what I tell you guys all the time, man. It's like things change. But you have to learn how to take the stars you have. They've changed Adam Page's character, man. People from out that all the AEW haters never pay attention to the positive things and look at what's happening. Look at it for what it is. They always just find something to bicker about. But watching this shit, man, was just like. And my son sat there and watched like the entire time. I'm telling you, my sons don't really watch wrestling like that. They don't watch WWE at all. When they see if I'm watching it and they're in the room, they'll but they're not really indulging in it. They get bored with it. My son was in there; he was like locked in on what was going on. It was solid, man. It was solid. What happened? I don't think we're going to see the last of MJF. He took the mask off of Mystico's. Snatched his mask off, and of course he quickly covered his face. When the guys came out to help somebody else, I think somebody gave him an extra mask to put on or something like that. But yeah, man, that's one of these things. Like, he played the heel role. The luchadors, that's a sacred thing to them to not show their face and one thing that was different about their energy that I liked too, though, but it was weird, but I liked it for this reason. They were booing, I forgot the guy's name, but they were booing this one guy. He was a good guy, but they were booing him. And Excalibur is saying, I think something about his father was, I forget the damn guy's name. Somebody said it, I don't remember it, but he says something about him not, they know his dad or something like that, but they don't know him. He's not that popular yet. It's one of those things a lot of times where people, it's like Dominic, but he turned on his dad. But when you have a famous father, that did something to mom, you following those footsteps is like people are critical on you. But they were booing him, man. Everything he did, they were booing him. And you know what I loved? Excalibur, they announced it. They didn't sit there and lie and try to like. I remember, I can't remember who it was in the WWE. They were clearly booing this person, and Michael Cole sat there and said that they were saying some type of chant, like they were saying ooh or something like. Those motherfuckers weren't saying no damn ooh. They were booing this person. I can't remember who the hell it was, but I just shook my head and started laughing, man, because it's like they're clearly booing this guy, and it's just like they're just expressing the fact that they just wasn't feeling that guy. He's a face. Okay. Adam Page comes out in the very beginning of the show, and he does the whole promo in Spanish. I know they had a lot of people like, what? Is this AI? Yeah, but he speaks fluent Spanish. And he's telling the story to them in Spanish, in Mexican. And here go the people going, oh, but how come he did? I didn't understand what he was like. Well, they understood what he was saying. To be honest with you, that's what Excalibur was translating. He was saying what Adam Page was saying. So for English-speaking people that don't speak Spanish or whatever, they know. Okay. But bottom line, he did what he did. And like I said, it was no need to have a whole bunch of like promos and backstage segments with that type of card that they had, because it was stacked. You know how many? They had so many people, and you got to see. It's not about AEW versus CMLL. It's AEW and CMLL putting their best up against each other's best. So you got to see CMLL guys team up with AEW guys on the face side and the heel side. So many people got seen last night, and this is what I'm saying. This will have people, because I read the comments on AEW on their different videos that they put out, where a lot of people are like, yeah, man, I want to see more. That's great. What's going on? See, if this was some people just showing up at Dynamite attacking AEW fans, and then the following week AEW showing up at CMLL attacking their fans, like, that shit gets old, man. That's not what the Forbidden Door is about. That's some WWE bullshit with TNA and NXT. That's their bullshit. Then you got to also understand, you can see that what Tony Khan is doing and like working with other companies, and it's all about bridging the gap between professional wrestling, bringing different organizations together. That's what it's about. It's about wrestling as the genre, okay? Like Jeff Jarrett said on his show, man, WWE don't give a damn about AAA, man. They don't even, they already had a match booked for a AAA event, and WWE was announcing Vikingo versus a damn WWE guy. And the guy he's fighting has nothing to do with the WWE. He's strictly, WWE owns it, but they don't even understand like what's going on in AAA. It's like, okay, let you guys run what you're doing, and they don't even know what's going on. I told you, this is just blockage opportunities, and this is also the type of thing. If you left the WWE, right? If you are a Mexican wrestler and you leave the WWE, if you don't want to be affiliated with the WWE, they own AAA now. So where are you going to go? There's other companies in Mexico, but CMLL is the premier. Check this out, though. for wrestlers that wants to go, like I don't know who really wants to go to TNA. TNA is really more like an option as far as like wrestlers that's already like well known. They don't really want to go to TNA, but it's like, okay, it's about this WWE affiliation. Maybe I can go over here and get done what I have to get done, and then hey, WWE will call me back. And but again, you have these developmental guys from NXT. You don't have SmackDown and Raw wrestlers on there. You don't see Seth Rollins popping up on TNA program, and you don't see Roman Reigns and John Cena. That's not what you see happening. So where these people want to go is not the same as settling for going somewhere. And my thing is, with CMLL, well, maybe WWE might be more, well, maybe they might be more considerate of their wrestlers, because they don't want them to go to CMLL, being that AEW and CMLL has a very strong working relationship. So it's all about control and dominance. That's what they're trying to do, but it's not working. I told you, they cannot slow down AEW no matter what they try to do. And for the record, I read an article, somebody talked about how AEW was, they were trying to figure out, the network was trying to figure out Max, and TBS was trying to figure out a day that they're going to put on Collision, because it has to be consistent and be on this one particular day and all this kind of shit. And then they talked about how the reason why AEW kept moving Collision is because of WWE. And then I read an article, right, where someone from Warner Brothers Discovery said moving Collision had nothing to do with the WWE at all. It had nothing to do with them. They said as far as what they have a NASCAR event that's coming on, and it's a very long event, and so AEW didn't find themselves in the position of coming on super late after NASCAR. They just did the 4-hour presentation. How when they combine AEW and Dynamite and Collision. So where do people get this whole, they moved it because of the WWE? Because people hear certain things, and even if there's some truth to something, they start adding their own bullshit. And then they add this, it's because of the WWE, they keep moving. No, had nothing to do with the WWE. They said that as far as the move happening, they were, as far as trying to decide whether it's going to be on a Thursday, and I said Thursday because I feel like it'd be just good to have them back-to-back shows. You get, Dynamite on Wednesday and then Collision on Thursday. Shoot, why not? Now, they showed an ad saying that Collision will be on, Saturday. This Saturday. Now, as far as finally, I don't know if they're going to leave it on Saturday or if they're going to actually move it to Thursday. But I hear so many things being said. I read these articles, and I'm telling you, people will lie and make up things. But either way, it's always someone trying to explain why AEW is doing this and why the AEW is doing that, as if they know the answers, because they make it up in their head. Explain why WWE failed to put 10,000 people in a building that held, that held, a little over 10,000. They were only able to put a little over 6,000. Explain that shit. Explain why AEW just had a sellout crowd in Mexico. But you see, that's what I'm saying. Now, if they had a half-empty building, that's exactly what you WWE fans would be coming in people's comment section saying. They went all the way over there to Mexico just to find out that they have no fans. Nobody showed up. It was half-empty. Yeah, say what you want, but at the end of the day, and I'm just saying this because it's true. What we saw last night showed you. It showed you several things about America. One, people in America can be extremely stupid when it comes to just enjoying things, because people would rather fight and argue instead of just enjoying, something and being able to see things for what it is, what it's meant to be, right? What it's supposed to be. TNA, I remember TNA went to the UK, had a nice crowd out there. And what TNA went through was, I said, damn, it's so fucked up that they have a better response and can, get better numbers outside of the USA. And, they're now the home base of it is in Canada. But it's like where home is, that's where you should be hitting home runs. But they couldn't do it. AEW, you can see these people are a lot smarter than the people that was running TNA, first of all. And for what it's worth, just buying companies up to try to block other people, to try to block the companies, to try to block the wrestlers and control what they do and how they want to do it. It's more than selfish. It's downright evil, man. It's dictatorship and it's bullshit. Now, people don't have to go for that, but if you watched that show last night, I guarantee you walked away from there going, damn, this is way better than that Worlds Collide shit. Hell, I mean, it was, and shit is better than Raw, better than SmackDown, all that shit. NXT, better than TNA, better than all that shit. Subjective. Everybody has their own opinion, but it was better than all of that shit. Just like their prior shows. But bottom line, man, is what we saw last night was special. We saw people out in that audience having fun. We saw the wrestlers having fun. It was just like one of those things where, like, damn, I'm about to go in here and watch it again while I eat and then hit the gym, then go back to work. And then, hey, man, look, at the end of the day, it's supposed to be fun. That's what it's about. Everybody was genuinely having fun. And for the first, what's funny? I could see the people walk around selling the snacks and stuff, and everybody was just, it was like, wow. And even though it was a big building, it just still has it was so jammed in there. It's like a kind of more of an intimate type of setting, like with, yeah, man. I like the way the building, the stage design and all. And, they always had those stairs. I always laugh when I see people walk down them stairs because I always think, what if somebody just lose their balance and bust their ass before they get in the ring? But yeah, I'm gonna go in there and watch it. And I started digging into some more CMLL as well, watching them more. I was watching AAA for a long time. I remember I used to watch this guy, Judas Messias, when he was over, he was always back and forth. In fact, it's Vikingo versus Alberto Del Rio. And these motherfuckers said Vikingo versus somebody, I forgot who it was, but it was somebody that just on a WWE roster. And I'm just like, man, they don't even know what the hell is going on. And like I said, Jeff Jarrett and that guy Conrad saw it as well. And like he said, man, they don't give a damn about what's going on in AAA. And they've acquired the company. Because their intentions wasn't to, hey, man, let's make AAA the best company we can. No, it's all about, and I can tell with them, it's like, all right, look, man, what are you guys going to do? Their input is always putting their mid-card or whoever that they see fit, but it's usually, look at all these mid-card guys. They stick them in there and they become champions. It's two guys from WWE just became AAA champions, tag team champions. So it is what it is, man. And nobody's talking about no damn AAA. And the best you got from AAA is a motherfucking 150-pound dude called Iguana Man. All right. But yeah, that shit rocked last night, man. AEW and CMLL got it in. Now, what goes, going forward, how things go, we'll see. But this is what you need, man. And I really like Bandito as well, man. He's one of them, that guy, that, everybody, they came and put on last night. Everybody. But just to see how two companies can work together like that, that's what it's supposed to be about, man. But it is what it is. Great show, once again. Salute everybody that was on that card. But Mercedes Monè, man. And then, of course, Toni Storm, that chick Nina comes out and distracts her. Toni Storm comes out, did her little video package while Mercedes was in the ring. Snuck up on her, knocked the shit out of her, chased her around the ring, and they, started going back and forth. Hey. So she's looking strong too, man. But, winning another championship. But Toni Storm is coming to fight. It's going to be a great match. Jon Moxley, like I said, he got the win for his team. And pretty much Adam Page is going to need, to have, somebody in his corner. Because we know beating Jon Moxley straight up, nah, the Death Rider is not going to let you do that. And hell, the Beast Mortos was a great replacement because Claudio wasn't there. And Pac still, whatever his injury was, whatever, Pac wasn't there either. So, yeah, great night though of wrestling, man. Hey, AEW fans, talk to me in the comment section. That's all I got for you guys right now. I'll catch you guys in the next video.